Have you ever found yourself craving solitude over a lively social gathering? It's an intriguing paradox of social life. As humans, we're inherently social creatures. Our survival and progression throughout history have been rooted in our ability to form communities, to share, to empathize, and to connect with others. Yet there are moments when we prefer the tranquility of solitude over the buzz of socializing. And you know what? That's perfectly normal. It's a phenomenon that's deeply rooted in our psychology. There's a certain charm to solitude, a comfort that can be found in our own company. It's not a sign of antisocial tendencies, nor does it indicate a lack of social skills. It's merely a reflection of our complex human psyche. It's an indication that sometimes we need a break, a moment to recharge. So what are these reasons that make us prefer our own company over others? Let's delve deeper. One of the most common reasons for preferring solitude is the need for personal space. This concept is not simply about having a physical buffer zone. It's about having a psychological sphere where we can maintain our individuality, our thoughts, and our emotions without feeling encroached upon by others. Imagine personal space as a bubble surrounding each of us. This bubble varies in size from person to person, reflecting our unique tolerance levels for social interaction. Some of us have larger bubbles, requiring more personal space, while others may have smaller ones, comfortable with closer social proximity. Now, let's consider a day filled with constant social interaction. You're surrounded by people at work, you come home to a bustling household, and your phone is buzzing with messages. There's little to no room for solitude. For some, this might be energizing, but for many, it can become overwhelming. It's like having your personal bubble constantly invaded, leaving you no space to breathe, let alone think. This constant invasion leads to a craving for solitude, a yearning to retreat into our personal space where we can be alone with our thoughts and emotions. It's important to understand that this craving is not an indication of antisocial behavior or an aversion to people. It's a natural response to the need for psychological rest, similar to how our bodies crave sleep after a long day. When we are alone, we have the opportunity to disconnect from the external world and reconnect with ourselves. We can process our thoughts, reflect on our emotions, and simply exist without the need to respond to external stimuli. This solitude can be therapeutic, allowing us to recharge and restore our mental energy, much like sleep rejuvenates our physical energy. So, the next time you feel the urge to retreat into solitude, remember it's not a sign of weakness or an indication that you dislike people. It's simply your mind's way of telling you it needs a break. Therefore, solitude can serve as a necessary retreat to recharge and restore our mental energy. Another reason is sensitivity to external stimuli, which is particularly relevant for people who identify as introverts or highly sensitive people. Picture this. You're in a loud, bustling room filled with people. Conversations are overlapping, music is blaring, and there's a constant hum of activity. For some, this is invigorating and exciting, but for others, it's overwhelming, like trying to tune into a specific radio station amidst a cacophony of noise. This is how it can feel for those who are more sensitive to their surroundings. They have a heightened awareness of the world around them, making them more attuned to things like lighting, noise, temperature, and the presence of others. This sensitivity can be a strength, allowing them to pick up on subtle cues and details that others might miss. But it can also feel like a burden, especially in environments that are loud, chaotic, or crowded. Imagine trying to concentrate on a complex task while multiple conversations are happening around you, or trying to unwind after a long day in a room with harsh lighting. It's like trying to read a book during a rock concert. For those who are sensitive to external stimuli, these conditions can cause stress, fatigue, and even physical discomfort. That's why solitude can be such a refuge. It provides a serene environment where they can relax and function better. In solitude, there's less noise, less activity, less stimulation. It's a place where they can recharge, refocus, and regain their equilibrium. And it's not just about physical comfort. It's also about mental clarity. In a quieter, less stimulating environment, it's easier to think, to create, to reflect. It's a space where they can tune into their own thoughts and feelings without the constant barrage of external stimuli. So, for some, preferring solitude is not about disliking people, but about needing a less stimulating environment. It's about finding a balance that allows them to engage with the world in a way that feels comfortable and sustainable for them. It's about honoring their own needs and boundaries, and that's something we can all understand and respect. Then there is the value of self-reflection, which often requires solitude. In the constant hum of social life, our minds can become flooded with external voices, opinions, and perceptions. This ceaseless noise, although often stimulating and engaging, can create a barrier that hinders us from hearing our own inner voice. This is where the beauty of solitude steps in, offering us the silence needed to engage with our thoughts and feelings. Solitude provides a platform for introspection, a process of self-examination that helps us understand ourselves better. It's like holding up a mirror to our inner world, allowing us to see our thoughts, emotions, and experiences more clearly. When we're alone, we're free to delve into the depths of our minds, to question our beliefs, evaluate our actions, and contemplate our dreams and aspirations. Through introspection, we can identify patterns in our behavior, recognize our strengths and weaknesses, and understand the reasons behind our reactions and decisions. This understanding can lead to greater self-awareness, which is a fundamental element of personal growth. Self-aware individuals are more likely to make conscious, deliberate choices that align with their values and goals, leading to a more fulfilling and authentic life. Constant socializing, on the other hand, can sometimes distract us from this essential self-exploration. Although social interactions can offer valuable insights and perspectives, they can also fill our minds with external influences that may cloud our self-perception. When we're constantly surrounded by others, it can be challenging to distinguish our authentic selves from the personas we adopt to fit in or meet societal expectations. Therefore, taking time out for solitude and self-reflection isn't an act of antisocial behavior or an indication of disliking others. Instead, it's an act of self-care and personal development. It's about creating space to tune into our inner selves, to listen to our thoughts and feelings, and to understand who we truly are. Thus, solitude can be a tool for self-discovery and personal development. Some people prefer solitude because they fear judgment or rejection. This is a deeply rooted concern that can turn the joy of socializing into a daunting task. It's like each interaction becomes a performance, where a misstep can lead to harsh criticism or even ostracism. The fear of judgment isn't simply about worrying what others might think of your outfit or your choice of words. It's a profound fear that can permeate every aspect of social engagement. It's about fearing that your core identity, your values, your beliefs, and your lifestyle might be deemed unacceptable or unworthy. It's the fear that you, as a whole person, might be rejected. On the other hand, the fear of rejection is equally potent. It's a fear that stems from our evolutionary past. As social creatures, our ancestors relied on the group for survival. Being rejected by the group meant a higher risk of death. Even though we no longer face the same risks, the fear of rejection still lingers in our psyche, making social interactions stressful for many. Now imagine living with these fears constantly. Each social encounter would feel like walking on a tightrope, wouldn't it? This is why some people find solitude to be a welcome reprieve. In solitude, there's no need to perform, no need to meet anyone's expectations. There are no judgments, no rejections. Solitude provides a safe space where one can simply exist, without the constant fear of doing something wrong, of being seen as less than, or of being cast aside. In solitude, people can be themselves, with all their quirks and idiosyncrasies. They can explore their thoughts, express their emotions, and engage in activities they enjoy, all without the fear of being judged or rejected. It's a space where they can let their guard down, where they can breathe freely. It's a space of self-acceptance and self-love. So preferring solitude can sometimes be a defense mechanism against potential emotional hurt. To sum it up, there are various reasons why people might prefer solitude over socializing. The first is the inherent need for personal space, which could be physical, emotional, or mental. This necessity for a breathing room is as unique as the individual themselves, and it's completely okay. Next, we have sensitivity, external stimuli. Some people may find social environments overwhelming or even exhausting. Being alone provides a respite from this sensory overload. Then we have the value of self-reflection. Solitude can offer a tranquil setting for introspection, self-discovery, and personal growth. And lastly, the fear of judgment or rejection can also push some toward solitude. It's important to understand that it's not about being antisocial, but about self-preservation and maintaining mental well-being. Preferring solitude isn't necessarily a negative trait. On the contrary, it can be beneficial for mental health. Remember, it's okay to enjoy your own company. After all, the most important relationship you'll ever have is with yourself. If you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching.